I want to talk about your wife leaving her corporate job.
Yeah.
And what made her feel comfortable? Was there a breaking point? I know you guys just had a kid. You know,
Yeah.
'cause, like, that's a big step to both be in the realm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not have that other income that's stable or whatever. To like, it's all us.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck anymore.
So her coming over has always been part of the plan, right? When I started this business 24 months ago, you know, figuring out, okay, here's the plan. Now, how do I get there? It's always been a part of the plan for her to come over into this business. It was really just more of a matter of when. And this was a conversation that, you know, my wife and I went back and forth on, given that, she is an introvert. She's more of an integrator type. You know, she's more tactical in her thoughts and evaluations of things. As where I'm just like, oh, you know, we'll just make it happen. Don't worry. I promise you it's going to happen. We'll get there. Just trust me on this. Just trust me. You know, I don't have a blueprint, but trust me, I'm going to figure it out. And so, you know, we definitely had some conversations back and forth. You know, when's the appropriate time for her to come? You know, is it now? Is it then? You know, and we, you know, looking at it back on paper, it's kind of hard not to scratch our head. I mean, we had a child, and like a week later, she quit her job. Right? She was on maternity.
I didn't know it was that soon.
So it's like, you know, no better time than the now is basically what we got to. And, you know, fortunately, my wife's always been a major supporter and a big proponent of what I'm doing and what I've pursued in this business so far. And I really consider myself blessed to have a support system like that at home, because I have had to be incredibly selfish over the past 2 years with my time, you know, to really get into the grind of getting these things going. And in those first stages of your business, you know, it's not very sexy. You're putting in all this time, you're putting in all this energy, you're away from your family, you're away from your friends, you're not getting to do anything for yourself. And the money isn't always immediately there.
It's not. It isn't immediately there. Anyone who tells you it's immediately there is lying to you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was told early on, and in my brokerage career, when I was getting started with that, it's, you know, give yourself, it's got to be at least 3 years. At least 3 years before you even start making real money. And that's if you're doing it right. Right? Now, that never moves around. Some people make money faster, but you know what I mean? It's kind of just creating the proper expectation. But the point is, the money's not going to be there day one. It's not going to be there week one or month one. Right? It takes time. It takes time, because even once you start to make money, you have to look at that money to reinvest back in your business. You know, how do I keep the momentum going? How do I keep growing? Do I just stick it in my pocket and let my company keep trickling along, or do I reinvest it and allow it to really accelerate? But anyway, throughout that time, she was incredibly supportive. She's never once questioned it. She's never once complained about it. I mean, she's just been a godsend for me throughout this process. And a lot of times the rock that kept me moving forward, even when I was doubting it. And so once we got through the hard times, it was really just a matter of when. And once our daughter was born, we both kind of looked at each other and said, you know, it's just do it now, right? Let's make the jump. There's no one holding us back. The business is running. And I had gotten to a point where I had more on my plate than I could keep up with. I was, you know, running around like a crazy person, and I needed that next member of the team to help me outsource and leverage. And candidly, like on the management side, especially, she's 10 times the manager I am, right? So even bringing her on to do that stuff automatically made that 10 times easier, 10 times more efficient, and 10 times more beneficial for us, right? Because I wasn't constantly pulling my hair out trying to get these things done, because she could do them with, you know, like a breeze. So it kind of just got to that point where there's no better time than now, and our daughter's here, and we want to get these businesses up and running and succeeding for our family, right? So that we're not working 20 years from now, right? And, you know, in 10 years, we're living a life by design that allows us to be with our kids whenever we want, travel whenever we want, do whatever we want, not still, you know, up to our neck in the grind of trying to make this thing work while our kids are growing up.
Exactly.